Hey friends, thanks so much for joining me today. So in today's card tutorial, we're going to be using this gorgeous Modern Christmas Designer Series paper, and I am showing you the A side and the B side. The A side has gold, black and white, and the B side is black and white. So you have the option to choose whichever side you want, depending on how elegant or how simple you want your cards to be. Now this may be called Modern Christmas, but it doesn't have to be for Christmas. This is perfect for New Year's as well, or how about that birthday celebration? So let me get this out of the way and we will get started with our card. I'm going to pull that one piece out, which is this piece here. It says fa la 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 la. The other side has some gold berries with our leaves. What are they called? Holly berries. I don't know why I can't remember the name. Holly berries. So we are going to work with this piece first. So let me grab my trimmer because we want to do a little bit of scoring. Now, if you're working with directional paper, you want to make sure that your direction is going portrait, like up and down. So as this one here, we don't want to work with it this way because then the fa la 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 is going to be upside down. So I'm going to flip it this way and I'm going to turn it over and I want to do some scoring. I am going to do just one score and it's going to be at 4 inches. So I'm going to score this at 4 inches. For the complete measurements, be sure to sign up for my newsletter, which goes out every Wednesday. Sometimes I send it out sooner on Tuesdays. So that is all for this for now. So basically what I'm looking to do is something like this. So this is going to be like a cute little pocket, and we're going to put that on another piece of cardstock. All right, so that's done. Now this is a little hard to see the score line, but I think I see that there. So I'm just going to fold that over, make sure it's lined up, and I'm going to find my bone folder. There it is. It's hiding. So I'm just going to burnish this just to make sure that we have it lined up. Then what I want to do is, rather than scoring it again, because what happens if I score this at 4 inches, then 8 inches, this might butt up to this piece. This piece, when it folds over, might overlap this piece. Now you could score it at like just under 8 inches, but I find that this is so much easier. So I'm just going to take that left piece and I'm going to fold it over so it lines up. And you'll see that even when they line up, they don't meet at the ends. Let me just press this down and I'll show you what I am talking about. So I always find that it's easier to do it this way. All right. So there you go. Let's see how that lines up perfectly now with that inside score. So had we done it with the scoreboard, it might not come out that good. Just going to line this part up a little bit better. I seem to have more space up there than I do at the bottom. So let's get the bone folder and burnish that. So, and like so. All right, before I get ahead of myself, let me tell you what I am using. So I am using Fright Night, right? Is that what this is called? Yep, Fright Night dies. I'm using the this label die and this label die. And then I'll show you how I shorten this die. But this set, believe it or not, has become a favorite of mine. I wasn't going to get it, and then I got it, and now I see that you could use it for other things besides just Halloween, like this one for my Christmas card. My next stamp and die set that I am using is Jolly Holly, and I'm also using the dies because I stamped and cut out the holly leaf. And we're going to be using Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes as well as Merry Christmas. So this has lots of different greetings here. You can pick and choose what you like, but it's a very versatile stamp set. All right, then my parts and pieces here. So let's see what we got here. Not too much. All right, so next what I'm going to do is, this looks like it's, let's see, let's just make sure. This needs to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it is, okay. All right, so we're gonna set those aside. The next part I want to do is, let me put my bone folder away. I'm gonna take my trimmer. Now, I'm going to line it up with either score line. It doesn't matter if you go left first or right. So we're gonna start with the left part. I'm gonna lift up the arm of my trimmer, and I'm looking to see where that score line is, right? So I found it here. Now I'm going to turn it so that this point here, now let's zoom in just a wee bit, so that this point here is also in the track. So I want to keep this score line in the track, and I'm just going to turn it, and I might have to scoot it down a little because it might hit up there once I get to the point. But I'm just going to keep going till I hit that point. So now that I have the point there, I want to make sure that my score line is there. So you kind of just play around with it till you get it right. So right about there, I think is right. I think that's right. Okay. And let's just scoot this over just a little bit more, and there we go. So now I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm going to slice off this triangle like so. Now, you could potentially make another card with this. You just need that backing to it. So, and you'll see what I mean once the card's together. All right, so now we're going to do the other side. Again, I'm looking for that score line. So I found it. And then I'm just going to scoot this over to the point right there. And scoot the score line right here. Maybe I shouldn't have picked black, right? Makes it hard to see with this black. All right, now I have my trimmer blade on the bottom here. I don't want to cut up from the point because I might tear the paper. So I'm going to bring it back up to that score line. Let me see, it just popped out. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to bring it from here, and I'm going to cut downward. The other thing that you could do is position your blade somewhere in the center off the point so that you're not crinkling it once you're slicing it. And there you go. So these two pieces, like I said, could potentially be used for another card. All right, let's zoom out a bit. All right. All right, so I think I am done with the trimmer. So that's how that folds. So now you're making this cool little pocket that we're going to put a little message in there. So let's put this aside. And let's do a little more burnishing. I find that after doing that, for whatever reason, my flaps pop up. Okay, so next what I want to do, and this is optional, but I thought it looked really nice because I don't like these little seams here showing. So I thought it might be nice to add some paper, what be a cardstock. I could have used black if I wanted to, plain gold. I just happened to find these, which is a retired distressed gold DSP. So I'm just going to add that to there, and then we'll add the other piece on here. Again, that is optional. All right, let's bring out our silicone mat. And I find it so much easier, rather than adding adhesive to this skinny little piece, to put adhesive on this part. Much easier. Okay, so we're just going to add some adhesive. Of course, I tried this before coming on and it worked. Now it seems clogged. Sometimes shaking it up and down vigorously helps release it. And sometimes it doesn't. Usually I keep a little pin in here, but it doesn't seem to be in here. So I might have to go find a different one. All right, let me get a different glue. There we go. So I'm just adding a narrow, small bead right along this complete edge. And then we'll take this piece here, and I'm going to bring it right up to the top and to the bottom. I'm going to fold this though. Make sure I'm lining it up with the edge. Like so. I'll just press that down, and before I trim it, I'm going to let it the glue set. And we'll do the other side. See, it's hanging off a little here. Okay, let's do the other side. Let's close that. And then we'll add this piece. So this kind of reminds me of a shirt lapel, right? Don't you think it does? You'll have to let me know in the comments if you agree. Does it look like a shirt lapel? Of course, right now it doesn't look like much. But once we close this up and make that pocket, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so I think that's good. Press that down, and then we'll trim it. Let's put this here for a minute. Okay. See. So when you're trimming it, you want to close your piece together. Close your piece because it just makes it easier, I think. And then we'll do these top ones here. Get that piece off. Now, if you don't mind those seams, then you don't have to do this step. It's totally optional. I don't like the seams. All right, so there you go. So doesn't that look like, actually kind of looks like a kimono even, right? Pretty cool. I love the way that looks. All right, let's set this aside. And now we're going to adhere these pieces down. That doesn't matter. You could go left over right, right over left, whatever you want to do. The key is you want to add, oh, I guess I need this, a small bead of glue down here. And then you'll want to add another glue down here and then partially along these sides. So then you're creating a pocket, but you don't want to close this part up. So I'm going to start with adding adhesive to the bottom part. And because we're putting a card in here, we want to have enough room for that card. So I'm going to lay that down first. Okay. Then I'm going to add glue to this part on the bottom. Again, keep a nice small bead. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky, and you kind of have to guesstimate, right? So let's see, we're going to go I'm going to say probably right around here is where I want to go. So that's about, I don't know if I had a ruler, probably about 4 inches down from this point here. And then you'll press that down, so. and like so. Keep in mind that if you are using gold foil paper or anything like that, you got to be really careful with the wet glue. But so there you go. So there's a little pocket. Got the beginning of our card base. All right, now we can put this away. You know, let's do this part since I have the mini glue out. So now I have just a piece of basic black, and I'm going to again add a small strip. Again, this is optional, but I thought it looked really nice. So I'm just going to put some glue right down here. So, and then we'll add this little strip, which is just a 1/4 inch. It's just a little scrap. Right, so let's see, just making sure we got it, that I have it to the edge. Okay, and then I have a little bit overhanging there, so I'm just going to trim that. So, all right, now let's put that aside. Now we're done with that. We're done with the small glue. And we can start putting this card together. So I'm going to start by putting my pocket on my card base, which goes right there. Okay, let's get our bigger glue now. Again, if you're using some sort of gold, just be very careful not to ooze the glue, because that would probably not make you very happy. It will probably make you cranky. Now I think when I'm going to, this video goes live, I will probably be in Iceland. Well, depends how I'm scheduling my videos, but I think that's where I'll be. I am leaving, I would have left on November 7th, and then I won't be back until November 19th. So I hope to share some beautiful pictures with you all. I hope that I get to see the Aurora Borealis. That's the reason why we're going. I'm going with my sister and my nephew, and it should be really, really fun. So the only thing I'm going to dread is the cold, because you've heard me complaining about it before. I don't like the cold. I don't like it one bit. Oh, you know what? I wanted that to go. My sample I had put, I want to see something, how this looks. I think I'm going to do this way. My sample, I flipped it over the other way because I put a ribbon so that you could pull it up. But I was thinking I won't do that on this one. Try something different. And simply because I have that holly berry that I want to put up top here. It's not pretty. So I think I'll do that. We're done with the glue? Yeah, I think for now I'm done with the glue. All right, so let's put the holly berry there. I'm just going to add it right here. Make sure that's in the center. About there. So that's going in here. Isn't that just darling? Oops, got stuck over there and there. So there you go. All right, we're not done with this yet though. We still have to decorate the front. I need to stamp a greeting on the inside, and I'm going to stamp a greeting on the outside. My little labels that I have already cut. So let's just put this here for a minute. All right, why don't we do this one first? All right, and then I've already die cut my 2 pieces, and you'll notice that the die from Fright Night, here, let's pull it out. is much larger. So this is the size of the die, but you'll see that I shrunk it down. So I'd love to do that. Love, love, love to do that. All right, let me not forget my other holly berry. All right, so let's stamp. What are we stamping here? Bright and happy Christmas wishes. Now, when you're stamping this, you want to keep it towards the bottom because you don't want to put it up top because then it'll show through. So you want to keep this towards the bottom. So I think I might just go kind of down here with this. But I want to bring it up just a little so there's enough room to sign. And if you want to add a longer message, you can always add an extra piece of, or actually this is what I was thinking, it's black. You can just write your message back here. Okay, so that's that. Set this aside. Then we're going to stamp Merry Christmas on our curved banner. So let's do that. See how that looks. Okay. I'll do that right about here. So, perfect. Let's close this. All right, let's finish putting the card together. So we're done with that piece. I'm going to adhere this to this piece here. This is a textured metallic DSP, specialty DSP. So let's just add this with some seal. Where's my silicone craft mat so it glides easier? Okay. All right, I'll add that to the center. So, okay. And let's pop this up with dimensionals. Where are they? I thought I had a whole pack in here. I guess not. All right, I think we're gonna have to use these edges now. All right, so we're gonna put one here. Oh, and I do want to keep in mind not to go above this part here because we don't want it to glue to that. So I want to keep the dimensionals down here. So maybe I'll just add another strip right across the middle, and then we should be good. Okay, we're just going to add this right here. Okay, this goes in here. So cute. Isn't that pretty? I just love the way that looks. Okay, done with that, done with this. Now, the question is, do I want to put this here or down here? Or even put them on here? I don't want to put it up there. It looks kind of weird, right? Maybe I'll just put it down in this little corner there. What do you think? What do we think? I think I decided I'm going to put this right down here. And let's get the low profile dots. Take your pick tool. And let's see. I'm wondering if I should just put this over here. I think I'm going to do that. Yes. Okay. I love these low profile dots because they're nice and flat, hence the name low profile. That one there. And then, you know what, let's add a little one right over in this corner. Okay. So what do you think, friends? Is that cool? I just love this. It's so cute. And you take it out. You got your little message there. Plenty of room to write on the back. So let me show you my other samples. So we have our Christmas version. This one is Happy Birthday. So I did put the ribbon here. And I didn't do a message on this one. But I use the same papers as this one. And then this, I was just playing around with it, and I used some retired designer series paper. And I don't remember what these are though. Words of the Season, I think, is holiday wishes. So you'll have to let me know which one's your favorite. Do you like the Christmas, the birthday, or the holiday wishes? Friends, thanks again so much for watching, liking, and commenting on my videos. I appreciate you. For all of you that place orders with me or are on my team, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up and like and share my video with other friends. And if you want that newsletter, be sure to register for the email, which is in the description of the video. Till next time, bye-bye.